Hello again everyone, this is Vincent and this is episode 8 of the particular Let's Play. And now for something completely different. So as you'll notice in the loading text below, we have turned off the electromagnetic force, so we're not worrying about charges, but the strong force is on. Now the strong force is really difficult to explain. So the strong force is actually really strange. So the strong force is basically, instead of having a positive and negative charge, what you have is something called color charge. So color charge is made up of 3 components, red, green, and blue. And pretty much this window kind of explains it. A color will firstly attract its anti-color, and it will also attract its 2 other normal colors. So red will attract green and blue, and it attracts anti-red. It repels itself and attracts the anti-colors of the opposite kind. And you can do this with all of it. And yeah. Also, they don't call it the strong nuclear force for nothing, because it is actually really strong. It actually overrides the electromagnetic force and the electromagnetic force in terms of how strong it is. Even though we've turned it off, in later levels where you turn it back, turn the electromagnetic force back on, the strong nuclear force will still override it. And you'll often find yourself at the mercy of the strong nuclear force. Also note that when you have 3 colors together, so say red, green, and blue, all together, it will have no color charge. They're all neutral. And same with all anti-red, anti-green, anti-blue. Another thing is that antiparticles will only have anti-color, particles will only have color. We'll get into a few more controls with the strong nuclear force later. So in this level, we basically just have to annihilate 6 without getting annihilated ourselves. Alright. So in this level, we meet the control where we can change the color of particles. So that could be ourselves or nearby particles. So in this level, we have to cause 2 antiparticle annihilations, which happen to be these anti-ups and ups. Now the problem is that this red will repel anti-green and anti-blue. So what we've got to do is we've got to change the color of any of these quarks in order that they attract, and that will mean that that they will be attracted to each other, and that they can that they are more likely to annihilate. So there's a few rules with changing colors. One thing we can do is so I'm pressing down key, but notice that the strong force is actually really strong. It's pulling me very tightly. So one thing is that, as you can see here, if you're close enough to a particle, what can happen is that you can change that particle's color. So this bar tells me I can change it. This glow tells me what color I can change it to. In this game, color only changes from red to green to blue and back to red. So what can happen is, as an anti-red particle attached to a red particle, I can change my color to anti-green and this color to green. So overall, the color is conserved because anti-green plus green is no color at all. But I've just changed the color of each of the particles. Now I'm out of range. So now that up quark is green, so I can pull it over to the up quark, which is green, and it will not be repelled. So now I can check. Another thing is that if I'm attached to, well, for the rest of these levels, I'm going to be antiparticles, so I'm going to have anti-color. If I'm an anti-green, I can turn nearby anti-blue particles to green, and I become blue. And yeah, so it cycles through like that. An anti-green can't turn an anti-red to anti-green simply because the game mechanics of how the order in which color changes. Okay, there it goes. Alright, so in this level, I should pause it. what's going to happen is I've got to survive for 25 seconds, and a bunch of down quarks are going to keep spawning in the middle, and you have to change your color in order that it will not match the color of the down quark that spawns. So right now I'm an anti-red, and that's going to attract this red down quark, which is dangerous because it will kill me. So I'm going to change my color to green, and that will repel the red down quark away from me and hit the kill barrier. Now note that even if the particle is moving very quickly away from you, if you change too early in order that you don't match the particle in the middle, it can actually turn around really quickly and come back and kill you. So you just have to be careful that it actually leaves the play area. Also in this level, it just so happens that you only need to change colors every 2 particle spawns. So change color, now I'm anti-green and that repels the red, and keep going. Blue, anti-green, change, anti-blue, change. Also note that you can also generally tell the color of a particle by kind of if you see the kind of frothy stuff floating around the particle, that will tell you what particles are floating around it. Okay, so in this level, this is another final level. We've got to put ourselves in here, and in between us and here are these barriers and these down quarks. Now, best way to solve this level is, first of all, your particle, or antiparticle rather, will have a purple glow around it, so you know which is actually you to avoid, what's actually your color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my color to green to match this up quark, which is not going to hurt me, and these anti-down quarks are going to be blue and red, and they'll be more preferentially attracted to these down quarks, which should annihilate them first, and I can move myself in here. So now I'm green, and even though I'm of different color, it does not guarantee that I will not accidentally touch one of the down quarks. If you do get close enough, it will still kill you. Just have to align myself correctly, and I'm done. Okay, I'll head over here first. Alright, so basically what's going to happen here, I should pause it, is over here, you've got 3 anti-down quarks spawning from bottom to top. In the middle, you've got a bunch of down quarks spawning blue, green, red, I think. Can't remember the exact order. But basically, you've got to cause 3 particle annihilations. Now, the problem is if you accidentally leave stuff for too long, what can happen is when they all bunch up and they form a color-neutral particle, it can be really hard to get these quarks to attack this particle without accidentally annihilating yourself. I'm first of all going to make myself blue and then transfer my color to the other particle. And now it's attracted. Now I don't have to leave it because that's already anti-red. Okay. So what's going to happen here, I should pause it again, is basically you've got to cause 5 annihilations, and a bunch of down quarks are going to keep spawning over here and firing in that direction. Now, you could use 2 ways of doing this. One of them is that you can match the color of this particle, and you can stand over here and you'll pull it towards you, but it'll sling it around and hit these particles. The other way is you can not match that color. So I'm anti-red at the moment, so I should change to a different color, and I could push this particle towards that way. This makes it slightly safer for me, so if I do happen to accidentally stand in the way of the particle, it's less likely to hit me because I'm repelling it. So change my color and push it away. And it's basically just push it and hopefully it hits one of those anti-down quarks. Obviously, you've got to keep changing the color because the color of the down quarks will keep changing when they spawn. And there's my fifth.